out of all the pastimes in the world, gambling is the most popular among adults. Paususulay na, itay casinos to spend their cash on a game of baccarat or slot machine. However, as exciting as it may seem, the possibility of winning the grand prize in, say, a megabucks slot machine is around 49,836,032. It's so slim. The odds are always stacked against you. Now in this video, I'm going to talk about gambling, specifically underage gambling. Now it is illegal in many countries. The common age requirement to gamble in most Western countries is around 18 years old. Go to Ontario, Canada, and they're required to be 19 years old. However, if you go to Germany, you need to be at least 21 to enter a casino. So why did countries impose an age requirement on gambling? Well, the chances are, if you're 18, you're still in school, and the money you have is either from your parents or from other small sources. However, introducing teenagers to gambling and wagers might also cause them to develop a gambling addiction in their adulthood. Besides, shouldn't you be focusing on your academics? That is why there are age restrictions. Despite these limits, there are still some people who circumvent these restrictions just to take advantage of the young and inexperienced audience. I would like to turn our attention to the recent controversy involving the video game Counter-Strike Global Offensive and two famous YouTubers by the name of Trevor Martin and Tom Cassell. Trevor Martin has a YouTube channel named Team Martin, and Tom Cassell has a similar channel named Syndicate. Both have millions of subscribers in total. They regularly upload videos showing themselves betting on a website called csgo-lotto. Usually, their videos are provocatively titled, "How to Win $13,000 in 5 minutes." Sounds like something you will see in a web ad. But what if I tell you that the website themselves, csgo-lotto, gave these two YouTubers money to play on their website? If that doesn't sound shady enough, what if I tell you that these two YouTubers, they own the site? That's right, Team Martin and Syndicate are both owners of csgo-lotto. In fact, it was Team Martin himself who filed a certificate of incorporation with him as president and Syndicate as vice president. Now what does this mean? It means that they have access to the betting systems, meaning that they can manipulate the results of the bets so that they always win every time. This is why it is unlawful for casino owners to gamble on their own machines. If you think that's bad enough, they never said in their videos that they own csgo-lotto. What's even more worse is that the minimum age to bet on the site is 13. This is so unethical in many levels. Not only did they hide the fact that they own and operate the site, but they also made it accessible to 13-year-olds. If you want to learn more about this issue, I suggest you watch this video over here by H3 Productions. It goes into further detail discussing this matter. Now, there are some philosophies that might say that gambling is okay. In the case of hedonism by Aristippus, wagers are fine as long as you derive happiness from it. Hedonism argues that pleasure is the primary good. Hedonists try to attain maximum delight, and since gamblers are often motivated to bet by the chances of winning against the odds, hence they are hedonists, it can also be argued that humans are naturally gratified when we win against impossible odds. For example, say you took a test that you didn't study for. You are bound to fail the exam, but the results show that you passed. Immediately, you'll be gratified with a great sense of pleasure, knowing that you should have failed the test, yet you passed. In underage gambling, as long as the gambler is happy in placing bets, it's totally fine. However, those who are against underage gambling, and gambling in general, can be said to be utilitarians. Utilitarianism by Jeremy Bentham argues that the action that generates the most happiness out of other actions is the correct one. Thus, for utilitarians, it is wrong to wager because instead of betting the money, use it for more important things like food, clothing, or recreation. In addition, if you have a family, it's wrong to exchange temporary happiness in the poker table with happiness of your loved ones. Furthermore, a gambler might find pleasure in betting, but it won't last as long because it might lead to a financial burden later on. In the case of underage gambling, a utilitarian can argue that it is wrong because the child trades temporary pleasure in wagers, with the parents being upset with him, eventually making the child unhappier in the long run. Personally, I am strongly against underage gambling simply by the fact that the money that child gamblers use are from their parents and they do not earn it by themselves. On the premise of philosophy, however, the utilitarian theory is more ethical and correct, since it is true that gamblers should not use money to place bets in hopes of winning against major odds or for sheer pleasure, but to spend it on more important things like food, clothing. These things are more important than gambling in that they create more happiness and retain that happiness longer than in a session of roulette. So here my advice, fellow CSGO players, don't bet. As they say, the house always wins.